I hope that you're having a good day. Today, I wanted to talk about what makes INFJs great friends. In my last video, I talked about INFPs, and I think it was two or three reasons why we're good to have in a group of friends. Well, today I wanted to talk about the lovely INFJ and what qualities, even though there are a lot, I think just like I'll talk about maybe three qualities that make them really good friends to have around. The first one is that they are completely selfless. Most of the time, INFJs are known for being selfless. Um, they often put their own needs aside to help the people they care about, and not even just the people like who are close to them, like immediate family or close friends, but even strangers. They're the kind of people who would stop for someone on the side of the road, like stop to help a stranger fix their tire or something like that. To me, the INFJs are like the real life superheroes. They're one of the personality groups that makes up real life superheroes because they go out of their way to make life better for and easier for other people. They're just totally selfless. So when you have a friend like that, like they're one of the ones you can call if you need help, and you can trust them that they'll come. The second thing, and I'm looking down at my notes, that's why I'm looking at the side. The second quality that is wonderful about them is when you're in a conversation with them or having some kind of exchange with an INFJ, most of the time they're going to make it about you. Which, if you are a certain kind of person, and this is not necessarily true for all INFPs, but I know for some of us, although we are known as navel gazers and we enjoy talking about ourselves and thinking about ourselves, when another person is so focused on us, sometimes you're like, whoa, what is happening? This is weird. I can't with this. Um, so like when I've had INFJ friends and or acquaintances who typically became friends, and it would be weird when the conversation would like they would steer it towards me, because usually I'm the one who steers conversations towards other people. Like I'll start out talking about myself as an icebreaker, um, and usually I'll try to like say something embarrassing about myself or overshare, which is probably a bad idea to break the ice. And then I'll try and be like, so what about you? Tell me about you. And I'll try to make it about the other person so I can learn about them. But INFJs do that way better than I do. And it's a little unsettling when it happens to you, but not in a bad way. Like after a while, you get used to it and you realize it's because they genuinely care. Like they genuinely care about other people and want to know about them. And to me, in a world where so many people are narcissistic, it's so refreshing to be around an INFJ who just wants to talk about you, or they want to know about other people in their lives. And that's a really beautiful quality. And I think that's part of what makes them such happy people, is that they're not completely self-focused. Because I think part of like the rhetoric or the underlying message we get in our culture a lot is that the more you think about yourself and put yourself first, the happier you're going to be. And I'm sorry, but that is not true. People who are self centered are usually miserable. But INFJs, most of the time, are the opposite. They're selfless and they make things about other people. And usually, unless they get burnt out, they're very happy people. Um, the third beautiful thing that makes them a great friend, in my opinion, is their emotional intelligence, which can also be scary because just know that when you are friends with an INFJ, they're going to know everything about you without you even saying a word. Well, not without you saying a word, but without you like saying what you're feeling. They're going to be able to look at you, and after a while, you get to know the look. when they're reading you, and then they're gonna say something like that's, I bet you're thinking about blah blah blah, and you'll be like, how did they know that? So, yeah. But the good thing about that is when you're talking to them, it makes you feel very understood. And that's a huge thing for an INFP because we feel misunderstood constantly. Most of us do. But when you're around an INFJ, that feeling of being misunderstood and like a weirdo, it just dissolves and you feel like a normal human being because you're around someone who has extreme emotional uh, intelligence so that they're able to read you very well, put themselves in your shoes, understand what you're feeling and how that drives your perspective. And having someone who understands your perspective, like for once, is just incredible. Um, yeah, so those are the great things about having an INFJ as a friend. Their selflessness, um, which facilitates their ability to make things about the other person, and that is all, um, I guess, made possible by their great emotional intelligence. Now, what can we as INFPs do to reciprocate all these wonderful things to our INFJ friends? Two things. The first one I have written down here is to make sure that they feel loved and appreciated. Because a lot of times, people who go out of their way constantly to do kind things for others, including INFJs, their kindness often gets taken for granted. And it would be great if we can make sure that this doesn't happen to our INFJ friends. We want them to know that we love everything that they do for us and we really appreciate how understood and how valuable they make us feel. And we want to do the same for them. So that might mean like getting them little gifts every now and then, giving them a card, or just telling them, you know what, I really appreciate you. Just being sincere and telling them how wonderful they are. And the second way we can help them is as INFPs, we're able to read people almost as well as INFJs, sometimes to the same degree or better, sometimes, when we don't get in our own way. And the ability to do this means that we have the ability to see when people are becoming burnt out. And because INFJs give so much of themselves, it's very easy for them to get burned out. And they'll go, 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 give until all of a sudden they hit a wall. So if we can catch that before they hit the wall, or sometimes you guys, INFJs, you can be a little stubborn. If we catch it and tell you and you don't listen to us and you hit the wall, then we can still be there for our INFJ when they get to that low point, which might include a period of depression, or it might include just, if they're not prone to depression, it might just be they need to rest and they need some time to regroup and maybe be in nature a little bit, have some quiet time. And we can respect that. Like, let them know we're there for them, but also respect that they need their time alone. And yeah. So I guess that's the two ways we can help them is to make sure they know they're valued and appreciated and loved, and also to help them not get burnt out if possible. And if and when they do, to be there for them in the way that they need. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I did want to add though, if you've seen some of my other videos on this YouTube channel, you know that I like to write books. And I just wanted to mention that I came out with another book. It is called You, Me, and Reality. And it is about a young woman from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who hates living in Louisiana and has always wanted to move to California. And if this sounds familiar, because yes, that is based on me, but it's very different. Like, she's not like me. It's just that, I can relate to that, so I wrote about that feeling. But anyway, she, unlike me, she works in a bakery. And it's like, why? She's like, why do I work in a bakery? I want to be an actress. I want to go to Hollywood. And one day, The chance for her to go to Hollywood happens when a producer from LA comes into the bakery. So she ends up in LA, but it's not what she exactly wanted to do. She ends up on a reality show like The Bachelor, except The Bachelor is her best friend from back home who she's secretly in love with. So she has to deal with all of that. And then there's some other drama in the book because I'm weird, and INFPs, we're all kind of weird. So when we write stuff, it's weird. The book gets weird. There's a cult involved, and it's strange. I'm just gonna be honest. But if you want to read a weird book, there you go. It's called You, Me, and Reality, and it's on Amazon.com. Hopefully, I'll be able to get it on Barnes and Noble's site too soon. Too, we shall see. All right. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.